Welcome to what hopefully will be a podcast. My name's Kelly, and I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm a knitter of 12 years? Something like 12 years. But I've kind of only recently gotten back into it. I learned to knit when I was in high school and loved it, was totally obsessed. And then I went to college and was just busy all the time, didn't really do any crafting until I finally graduated with my master's degree in December of 2016. And after leaving school and just finally being done with school, like 100% done with school, I had no idea what to do with myself. It was the first time in my life that I was only working and not also going to school. Like, I had spare time, which is incomprehensible. And so I went back to knitting, and I've been knitting obsessively since, I want to say March of 2017. It's currently October, so that's like 7 months. My current situation is I've recently moved back to my native South Jersey. What's up? From Boston, where I was in grad school, and it was sort of a rough transition back. I wasn't able to line up a job immediately, and because I didn't have a job, I didn't have an apartment, and so I'm currently staying with my amazing, I want to call them in-laws, but I'm not married, so they're my outlaws. And so I'm staying with them. I did just recently get a job, thank God, but I'm not starting until the end of this month. So I've been unemployed since the end of August, which was really hard for me. Really not used to not having anything to do. That's not a part of my life. Hold on a second, the dog is terrorizing his bed and I don't want him to destroy it because he's already destroyed a bed this week. Arizona! Why are you so bad? No! No! I terrorize this. Here you go. Terrorize that. Woo! Get your goose! I'm gonna edit that out, I think. So I was saying, I am not used to having nothing to do. So while staying with the outlaws, I've been watching the puppy and watching the kitten, because they got a puppy and a kitten this summer, and that is like a full-time job, let me tell you. But also have been doing a ton of knitting, so much knitting, so many hours a day knitting. And I want to tell you, it's living the dream. I know that everyone wants to do that, although I think usually when you fantasize about have like nothing to do but knit, like you also still have money. So that part wasn't great. But I have actually now knit so much that I'm fairly certain I've developed carpal tunnel in my right wrist. Don't self-diagnose. Never do that. I'm gonna be going to a doctor as soon as I have health insurance again, to determine what exactly is wrong. And in the meantime, I'm trying not to knit very much. But that's kind of like giving me like yarn withdrawal. I'm dying here, guys. So I thought I'd try to engage a little bit with the knitting community and the yarny community, because the podcasts I've been watching and the community on Ravelry have been such an important source of comfort for me while I've been unemployed and feeling depressed before I got a job and all of that. And so I wanted to kind of engage with that community in a little more direct way. So that's why I'm here. Today what I'd like to do is show you one almost totally finished object. I'll come back to that in a second. And I would like to show you a couple things I've been working on, but they are Christmas knits, so I'm not going to show you them exactly. I'm going to show you a couple patterns. And by that I mean like the samples. I'm not going to show you the actual patterns because they're paid patterns, but so I'd like to do that. One FO, almost FO, and a couple of whips. Works in progress for those of you who don't already know the jargon. And just talk a little bit about myself. And obviously I'd really love to get your feedback. Let me know what you think, and you know, should I keep doing this? Why am I here? Anyway, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you my FO. I'm so proud of this. Oh my God, I'm so proud of this. Okay, so here we go. Kate Davies owl sweater. Owls, I believe, is just the name, and it's like all lowercase if you look on Ravelry. Not that it matters, but that's what you'll find. This was actually my first adult size sweater. I started this in May, and then I got distracted by a bunch of other patterns while I was working on the sleeves. Hashtag second sleeve syndrome, am I right? So it hibernated for a long time, and then I finally finished knitting it in August, and it's been hibernating since then because I didn't feel like weaving in the ends. Actually, I thought that I had, but then I found some that I didn't. I don't know, what was I doing? So let me show you this. It's not blocked yet, and I still have some ends to weave in, but look at this sweater. Ah! I can't believe I did this. So it is such a clever cable pattern. Look at the little owls. And this is actually a bulky weight yarn. The pattern calls for a bulky weight. So this was so quick to knit up. It's like, if I hadn't decided to put it aside for like ever, I probably would have gotten it done in like, I don't know, 3 weeks. Yeah, I've done worsted weight sweaters in 3 weeks, so I'm pretty sure I could have gotten this done in like 3 or less. Fewer actually. The yarn I used is from Cascade Yarns. It is the Ecological Wool. Let me show you, I do have a skein of it. Look at this bad boy. Look at how huge of a skein of yarn that is. Like, here's my hand, here's my hand and my head. It's the size of my hand and my head. This stuff is great. First of all, it has that nice sheepy smell. I mean, it's actually not that sheepy, but it smells like, I can't be the only one who just wants to like sniff yarn, right? Like, gorgeous. Anyway, so it is Cascade Yarns Ecological Wool. Not to be confused with like the Eco Wool. There's like a couple things with similar names from these guys, but Ecological Wool, it is undyed. So it is a 100% undyed Peruvian Highland wool. It's a bulky weight, what do they say? US 9 or 10 for 14 to 16 stitches to 4 inches. So yeah, it's a nice bulky boy. Very squishy. Like, I just want to like cuddle in a pile of these. Like, is that asking so much? Anyway, and how many yards are you getting in this thing? Because it is like ridiculous. This thing is so huge. You get 478 yards, which is 250 grams. Again, bulky. And I paid, when I first bought the yarn in Boston, I think I paid like $23.75 a skein, which, like, hello, that's so much yarn. And then I actually had to get more for another project, and I think I found it on loveknitting.com for like $22.75. Anyway, it's like $22 to $23, and such a bargain. Like, this was pretty much as economical of a wool sweater as you can do. Like, unless you're gonna go to like, you know, Red Heart or whatever, like, this is high quality yarn. So cheap, so cheap. Awesome, I can't recommend it enough. It has a nice texture, it's not scratchy, and after you block it, it's gonna be like even softer, obviously. So I really loved working with this. The colorway is taupe, which is number 8061. There's not very many colors in it because it's undyed. but this is the taupe colorway. It's coming up a little bit more maybe grayish than it actually is, but it's like a little more brown. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So the owl's pattern calls for you doing buttons for eyes on each owl, and that was my original plan, but as it turns out, I am so lazy about sewing on buttons. Oh my god. I made my good friend Sarah, hi Sarah if you ever see this, a cowl for her birthday, which was the Gothic Lace cowl by Tin Can Knits, which I think is a free pattern. Maybe it isn't, but and it's, you knit a rectangle and then you put buttonholes on one end and attach buttons, and then you can button it up. And let me tell you how I knit that cowl and set it aside for like a month and a half before bothering to sew on the buttons. And it was only like 6 or 8 buttons. Like, apparently that is like a bridge too far. I will not sew on buttons. But I had already started this at that point. So yeah, I have 18 owls here. I did size 3, which makes 18 owls across the yoke. And that means 36 eye buttons. And I think I just, like, I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm not ever gonna do it. I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it. So I think I like the look of it without the buttons. I think that's just fine. I think you can still see that they are owls pretty clearly. There is a yarn shop somewhat local to me in Haddonfield, New Jersey called Hooked. I actually haven't been there yet. I think they opened since I left New Jersey for grad school. I was gone for like 3 years. So I suspect they opened in that time, but maybe I'm wrong and I just like never noticed it. I used to spend a lot of time in Haddonfield and I didn't notice it. Maybe they were there. Anyway, that's not important. That yarn shop offers finishing services, which you pay for by the hour, so they'll block your sweater, whatever. So I was thinking about asking them to do buttons for me. Maybe I'll do that someday. Maybe I'll treat myself, go support my local yarn store. But I'm not gonna do it before next week. Do you know what next week is, you guys? Right now it's October the 11th? I'm unemployed. The date is like, I don't know what day it is. It's Wednesday, October 11th, I think. And next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, Rhinebeck! Rhinebeck Sheepfen Wool Festival! Oh my god. I'm gonna go for the first time ever. I am so excited. I feel like I could just like die. So this is gonna be my Rhinebeck sweater. Actually, it's one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. I have 3 sweaters done. I didn't want to show them all today so that I have other things to talk about in the future. Since I'm not knitting very much due to the possible carpal tunnel, I'm worried that I won't have a lot of FOs to show in a timely fashion, so I'm gonna let those ones backlog a little bit. But this is one of the sweaters I'm wearing to Rhinebeck. So I finally have my incentive to finish weaving in, like what did, that might just be, I wove it in and then didn't snip the end. Like, what was I doing? Anyway, so this will be one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. I'm so excited for Rhinebeck, you guys. Oh my god, everyone's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there. My heroes. Oh my god. Tracy and Jody of the Grocery Girls podcast. If you guys ever see this, like, I can't handle that idea. They're like my favorite people in the world, you guys. If you're not already watching the Grocery Girls, go watch the Grocery Girls. They're so funny. They're so funny. And they're such like prolific knitters. Oh my god. They bang out a shawl, I swear, in like a week if they don't have like other projects distracting them. It's amazing. Anyway, I love those two so much. They're gonna be at Rhinebeck! Ah! They're from Canada and they're gonna go. They're from Alberta, Canada, so they're not like close to Rhinebeck. I'm in New Jersey, like it's not that much of a drive. I think it's gonna take me like 3 hours to get there. Like that's not a big deal. That puppy is trying to destroy the Halloween decorations. Give me a second. Arizona, no! Don't play with your bed. That's not a toy. Not a toy. That is not a toy. You know what is a toy? This is a toy. Get it. What I want to do to edit those bits is do like the thing where I like speed it up so you just like see me like walk away. Anyway, so the grocery girls are gonna be at Rhinebeck. There's gonna be tens of thousands of people there, but I'm like determined to find them. I'm coming for you, ladies. I'm just kidding. But it would be so incredible to meet them. Anyway, and Friday night is Indie Untangled, which is not a part of Rhinebeck. It's really difficult for vendors to get into Rhinebeck. It's like, they say like someone has to die for someone to get a spot in Rhinebeck. And so a lot of indie dyers are not able to get a spot at Rhinebeck for vending. And so instead, the night before, they're gonna do Indie Untangled trunk show, which will be at the Best Western in Kingston. Yes, that sounds correct. I'm gonna go. I'm looking forward to it so much, and so many cool indie dyers are gonna be there, and they're people whose yarn I've never seen in person. Like, oh my god, shut up and just take all of my money. Hugh Loco is gonna be there. She's got some new colorways she's launching there. I saw them last night on Instagram. She's got one called Funky Funky. She says it like a special way, and I don't know if it was like a reference to something, and I didn't get the reference, but it's gorgeous. It's like a white or cream base with all these amazing speckles. Need it. And then High Five, which is like this bright, like turquoisey blue. Oh my god. Just, again, shut up, take my money. Nicole, can I just like direct deposit my paychecks into your bank account going forward, and then you just keep sending me yarn? Can we work that out? And Vine is gonna be there. Oh my god. You guys, I've tried to catch a shop update just to see the things she like puts in there at the time, you know? Just out of curiosity. I'm unemployed, don't have time. I have nothing but time. I have no money to just be like blowing on yarn randomly. I have a savings set aside for Rhinebeck that I started months ago. No guilt there, but like I can't just be buying yarn just for like funsies. And so I've just been trying to catch a shop update just to like see, but it's like, it'll be at Friday at like 7 o'clock, and I remember at like 7:05, and it's empty. It's gone already. It is sold out. And I'm like, holy crap. So I'm really excited to like see it in person where it can't just like disappear to the internet real quick. So that's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for Indie Untangled. There's like a million vendors who are gonna be there, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I have a Google Doc going for myself so that I make sure to like stop and see all the ones that I'm like particularly interested in. It's gonna be amazing. And then, you know, the next 2 days are like Rhinebeck itself. I thought about doing a workshop, but it's my first time at Rhinebeck. I think I want to take as much time as I can to just like explore the grounds, see as many vendors as humanly possible, like go pet some alpaca and like watch a sheepdog herding demonstration. Like I wanted to see and do everything. So I didn't end up signing up for a workshop, but I'll probably make that a goal for the next year. I'm really interested in learning more about spinning. My beautiful, amazing, fantastic superhero friend, Gina, if she ever sees this, hi Gina, gave me a drop spindle before I moved, and I'd really love to learn properly how to use it. I've been watching some YouTube tutorials and things, but I haven't really like done it yet for some reason. What's stopping me? She did give me some roving too. So I, yeah, I want to learn more about that in the future. So maybe I'll do a spinning class in 2018. Yeah, that might be fun. So yeah, Rhinebeck. I'm so overwhelmed and I'm like not there yet, you know? I keep looking at the schedule and there's so many things. I want to go meet Bristol Ivy. She's going to be doing a talk, and she's going to be signing her new book, which is getting released at Rhinebeck, and it's through Pom Pom Press, which, can we talk about the Pomcast? Oh my God. So Pom Pom Quarterly, they have a podcast, which they call the Pomcast, and one of the hosts is going to be at Rhinebeck. I have to meet her, Lydia Gluck. Oh my God. She'll be there with Megan Fernandez, who is the other founder of Pom Pom Quarterly. I don't subscribe to the magazine because I kind of discovered it right as I was about to move. So as soon as I get settled into my own apartment at the end of this month and you know, start getting a couple of paychecks, I'm gonna subscribe because beautiful patterns in there. I can't wait to like have a copy that I can just like smell. I'm not the only one who smells books, right? I smell yarn, I smell books. I'm really putting myself out there as like the weirdo who smells things. Sorry. Yeah, no, I need to be a subscriber to Pom Pom Quarterly. But anyway, so their other arm, Pom Pom Press, is their publishing arm. And they've put out a few books. What are they called? Take Heart, and there's one about a journey to Shetland, and I don't remember its name. Anyway, they all look gorgeous, and Bristol Ivy's is gonna be incredible. I can't remember the name, but I will edit in some notes about that because I feel like a jerk right now. She gives you a bunch of patterns, but she also gives you exercises and things for designing your own patterns. And that's something that I'd really like to try. So I'm really excited about this book. I've got to get this book. And if I can get Bristol Ivy to sign it, like, come on, right? It's Bristol Ivy. If she ever watches this, I'm just gonna have to die. I'll just drop dead. That's what'll happen. In a good way. I'll just die. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to that a lot. Yeah, and there's gonna be like apparently some really banging apple cider donuts, which like, hello, I need 12 right now in my face. And yeah, I'm so excited. I recently watched a beginner's guide to Rhinebeck video made by I can do this. You have this information, brain. Access it. Kristy Glass. There we go. That's who it was. And she went around like the town of Rhinebeck to show you like what cool things you can do just like in the town. So excited. I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go. For the record, I'm going alone, which will be weird, but fantastic. So if you see me there, if you have somehow seen this video and then see me at Rhinebeck, please come say hi, because I'm gonna be by myself and I'm probably gonna be pretty overwhelmed because, oh my God, yarn everywhere. So come say hi. So yeah, Rhinebeck. How cool is that, right? Can't wait. Anyway, so let me talk about some WIPs, some works in progress. So first, obviously I'm not like being paid to promote anything here. Like I'm shooting this at my Outlaws kitchen table impulsively. No one knows I'm doing this. Like, no, I have not been paid to promote anything. So anything that I'm promoting, like the Cascade yarn, the ecological wool, or this book I'm about to show you, just my own opinions. Anyway, so I'm a huge fan of tin can knits. Huge, enormous fan of tin can knits. Back in March, when I kind of got back into knitting, well, let me give you the full story. So I found out that my sister, my only sibling, is having a baby. She's actually due in November, so it's coming up. But she told me in March that she was pregnant, and I immediately was like, I need to knit a baby blanket. Oh my God. And so that was pretty much my introduction back into knitting, was like, I have to knit a baby blanket. So I went to my then local yarn store, which is JP Knit and Stitch in Jamaica Plain in Boston. And if you're in the Boston area, check them out. They're fantastic. I loved that store so much. So I had gotten the yarn for my blanket, and I think this was my like second trip into the store. I was kind of thinking about other things I wanted to work on, and I wanted to take on some more advanced techniques. I'd never been a very advanced knitter when I learned a million years ago, so I wanted to get more comfortable with things like knitting in the round. I wanted to knit socks. I wanted to do all these things I had never done before. And so I was wandering around the store kind of looking for inspiration, and I saw a sample of Tin Can Knits Barley Hat. And that is a free pattern. You can find it on Ravelry. And it is a part of their beginners collection. The beginners collection is like their gift to humanity. Just like, if you're not familiar, just go check it out. If you're trying to learn to knit, go check it out. If there's a technique you're trying to learn, go check it out. If you've never done socks, if you've never knit in the round, if you've never done a sweater, like go check out the Beginners Collection by Tin Can Knits because it's amazing. Every single one of the patterns is free. Every single one. So if you like followed the series from the beginning, you can do either a blanket or a scarf as your first project. Then you can do either a cowl or a hat. Then socks or gloves. Yeah, that sounds right. And then a sweater, or like the lightweight version of the same sweater basically. And then a cardigan is like the most advanced thing they have. Amazing. Go do these. Like, amazing. And they're not, like, they're simple patterns for what they are, but they're not like boring. They're not like totally plain. They're embellished and interesting, and they give you these amazing step-by-step tutorials on their blog for how to do all these things. So I saw the Barley Hat, which is a part of the Beginners Collection, knit up in the store, and I was like, you know what, that's great. I'd like to do that. It doesn't look terribly difficult. And I looked at the pattern on Ravelry, and I saw that there were all these tutorials and things, and I was like, that's excellent. I'm going to do that. And I found a beautiful yarn that matches my winter coat exactly, which was a Juniper Hill farm. Did I get that name right? I hope so. And it's gorgeous. The colorway was Junebug. I can't remember the type of yarn. I can look that up. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I can see out the window onto the back deck, and one of the chickens is on the deck. My outlaws have 4 chickens, and they have, one of them is an Easter egger. Her name is Penny. She's very funny looking. I love her. And she lays blue eggs, like amazing. But she's from a different hatch group from the other 3 chickens, and she's just like more bonded to the people in this house. So sometimes she like comes up on the deck to like see what's up. So cute. Like a personable chicken. She's useful and she's fun. How can you not love that? Anyway, sorry, that's why I was looking up, but she already flew off the deck, so she's not a distraction anymore. I'm paying attention. So I decided to do the Barley Hat, and it was fantastic. And then I did the rye socks, and that was fantastic. And then I did the flax sweater for my forthcoming niece, as it turns out. And so those are all from the Beginners Collection, all free patterns, all lots of tutorials. Their patterns are so clear, and they write them for size newborn up to 4XL men's. Like, holy mackerel. So Tin Can Knits, amazing. So once I kind of felt like I'd mastered some of those things, I started looking at some of their other patterns. And then one day, my local yarn store had a big sale, and I bought this book. Road Trip. 14 knits inspired by the open road. I was trying to read it backwards on the screen and I can't do that. And let me show you the back cover. Look at these beautiful patterns, you guys. Like, look at them. Sorry, the dog is like snorting under the table. That's what he does when he's falling asleep. Anyway, gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous. So I had to buy this book. And what I was mostly interested in when I bought it was this Clayacot pattern. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm sorry, I'm not from Canada. But it's a Fair Isle cardigan, and they also give you a hat pattern, the Clayacot toque. Learned how to say toque from the Grocery Girls. And this one is actually a free pattern. This one I don't mind showing you. It's free on Ravelry. Obviously it's included in the book, but aw, look at these cute shots with the baby. Anyway, so I knit one of these for my partner, Michael. I did it in like the same, it's not the same yarns, but it's the same colors essentially, as that one, the silver and the like turquoisey tealy, because those are my boyfriend's colors. He loves like blues and things like that. And I knit the biggest size, figuring that he has a big head, but I hadn't actually measured his head. You guys, it's way too big. It's enormous. I knit it for him for our anniversary, and I gave it to him. And he put it on, and it's so huge. It was so huge. It was like down to here. It was no good. And he was trying to be really sweet about it. And he's like, oh, I can just fold up the brim, which of course then hides like the bottom, like coloring. No, I was like, I'll just knit you another one. So I am working on the replacement one, but I did the first one in like a day because I was like, oh, anniversary coming up. Like I've got a deadline. I'm just going to focus on this and bang it out. And now that like the deadline's over, I have no motivation to work on that hat. Literally none. None at all. I've not even finished the brim, and then I set it aside, and I haven't worked on it since September. It's October, so I'll get back to it. I swear I will. I'll probably end up giving it to him with his birthday present in November. I can't claim it to be like his birthday present because it was already his anniversary present, so it's a little crappy. I might unwind the original one, like frog it to get the yarn back. We'll see how it goes, because I don't know anyone who's gonna fit that big of a hat. It's 23-inch circumference, and yeah, I don't know who is gonna fit that. It's big. Anyway, so I did that, and then the other pattern I'm working on in this book, I'm not going to say too much because it's a Christmas knit and the person it is for might end up watching this, but I am working on this blanket. Bonfire. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Look at those cables. Like, let me get it a little closer. Oh, it's gorgeous. So that cable pattern repeats the whole way up. You basically do 8 of those, and the rest of it's just garter stitch. It's gorgeous, and it calls for a bulky weight yarn. So I wonder if you can guess what I'm using. Beep. So that's for a certain someone for Christmas. I think that that person is going to love it. It's going to be so cozy, especially after I've blocked it and it just gets like fuzzy and soft and fantastic. It's like making me want to keep this blanket, but I won't. I'm putting it on tape that I'm not going to keep the blanket. If I want one, I have to knit another one for myself. Scout's honor. Anyway, and I thought that knitting a blanket would drive me insane. I should say knitting another blanket would drive me insane, because I did make a blanket for my niece, was given away at the baby shower just a couple weeks ago. And it was an extremely simple blanket. I believe the pattern is called Garter Stitch Blanket with Hood, something like that. It's dead simple. It was a free pattern on Ravelry, and you're working in garter stitch with 1 increase at each end, I think that's right. Maybe it's just 1 end. I don't remember. But you're increasing every other row until it's big enough, and then you decrease down, and it's, you make the square that way. And then you attach a little flap to be a hood. Dead simple. which was great for me getting back into knitting and like remembering how to increase and doing things like that. But after I had worked probably like less than half of it, I was like, right, got this, bored now. And it took me a while to finish it because I started working on the Barley Hat and the Rye socks and like all these like interesting like sexier patterns than just like simple Garter Stitch Blanket. So I thought that doing another blanket was going to be like a real drag, like taking forever, boring, repetitive, etc. This blanket pattern, Bonfire, awesome. It's awesome because you do a garter border, but you're using such a bulky yarn that to hit the like 3.5 inches or whatever it tells you to do, it doesn't take a long time. Like you're only doing a few rows to get there. And then you start the cable pattern, which is just 35 stitches out of the like 84 or something that you have on the needle. And it's 20 rows of the cable pattern, and every row is different, obviously. And it's not that complicated. Like after probably like 2 repeats, you kind of have it. Like you can kind of figure out what you're supposed to do on the next row without looking at the pattern. And then it's like, it's just different enough every time to keep it compelling. And it's, again, so quick because it's such a bulky yarn and you're using size 15 needles. So it's been keeping my attention. I really love it. Before I injured my wrist, I was doing 1 cable repeat every day. And I thought, like, I'm gonna get this done so fast because you only do the cable repeat 8 times. So I was like, I can get this done in less than 2 weeks, big time. And then I hurt my wrist. So I've worked on it a bit recently. I'm kind of trying to go back and forth on projects that are like different weights. I don't know. I'm hoping that that will like, I don't know what I think that's gonna do, but I've been working on a pair of socks and this blanket, like kind of back and forth, only for like half an hour a day. So I'm not making a ton of progress. I'm only getting like maybe 5 rows of the pattern done when I work on it, which is a bummer. I love working on it, and I'd like to just like take a day and like bang out like 2 repeats of the cable pattern or something, and I am afraid to do that. I'm concerned that I'm going to injure myself enough that I won't be able to knit in the future, and I'm trying to avoid that, so I'm really limiting my knitting time. I'm icing my wrist pretty much every day. I'm doing some little stretches and things. I don't know. I really wish that I had health insurance right now so I could just go to a doctor and be like, hey, what's the problem? What do I need to do to fix it? But you leave your job, you lose your health insurance. So when the ACA exchange markets open up for open enrollment, that's when I'll be able to get some health insurance. So cross my fingers until November that I just don't hurt myself anymore. Yeah, so those are my whips. Again, I didn't like show them because they're gifts. And I didn't show the hat because I've got nothing to show you. I am working on a bunch of other things. Again, I'm gonna kind of keep some of them in my back pocket so I can talk about them in the future. And thank you for watching. I can't believe I've talked for like 39 minutes. Holy crap. Let me know what you think. I love doing this. I really, my goal here is to engage more with the knitting community. I want to get to know some of you people. So let me know what you thought. Leave a comment and tell me what you'd like to see, what you didn't like, what could be better, what could be worse. Tell me what could be worse. That's what I want to know. I'm kidding. Probably the next time I do this will be after Rhinebeck. I'll try to take some footage at Rhinebeck to show you guys because, oh my god. What I'll probably do is take a bunch of footage at Indie Untangled, actually, because I feel like you can watch other people's Rhinebeck footage and it'll probably be better than mine. but Indie Untangled, I don't think there's like a ton out there, so I'll focus on that. That's my goal. And yeah, I'd love to just hear from you guys and engage with you guys. You can find me on Ravelry. I am idpicklethat, IDPICKLETHAT, idpicklethat on Ravelry. So shoot me a message, send me a friend request. I guess that's not really how Ravelry works, right? You just add them as your friend. You're like non-consensually someone's friend now, right? Sorry, that was so weird. Yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you want. I live to please. No, I don't. Also, that was weird. Ugh. Yeah. Bye, everyone. Happy knitting.